Greetings, citizens of Pompeii. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Pompeii the Legacy. Episode 6. All Hail the New Emperor. We almost have the Apothecary's house done, and if I'm not mistaken, there is a adjacency bonus of the Apothecary's house and the Herbalist. So that was... Where was that? Here. When an Apothecary's house and Herbalist garden is close to another, they have reduced upkeep. So we're going to want them close to one another. Typical theocrats never follow the road. I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of desire pathing here. These guys are like, screw it. I'm walking where I want to walk. Some people follow the roads, but I don't have enough roads that they actually follow them well. So, Apothecary is a healing building, and we'll stick that in right here. So, we have the Apothecary immediately adjacent to the herb garden, and they should be making medicine. Now, there is another piece to this, which I have not yet covered, which is, you can't really make medicine without glasswork and sand. So this is the first time that you get like a complex goal that doesn't tell you all the things that you need ahead of time. Also, if you run out of money, you will just have unpaid workers, and those workplaces will like stop doing stuff. So I'm running into low funds. But I don't really need to worry about it right now, because we have enough funds to cover everything for now. Oh, speaking of which, let's turn off the sawmills. So I have a lot of lumber. How's our stocks looking anyway? They're okay. So here's the Apothecary's house, and as you can see, the input is money, herbs, and glass, but I have no glass, so I'm going to turn this thing off because I can't run it without glass. So that was like a little gotcha requirement. So that requires a sand pit and a glass blower, or glass maker, and we'll get that in just a second. So the next thing we need for the healer's house is the big decoration tree, because, you know, it's a requirement for some reason. And then we'll put up a sand pit. So we're actually researching the healer's house now, but it's going to be a while until it's actually functional. And I think what I want to do is I want to build a functional one, because the game does not require you to build a functional one to fulfill the health for citizens. It just wants a healer's house, even if it's not supplied. But I don't want to like fake it. I want a legit one. I don't have enough money for the glassworks just yet, but let's go to general production for the... Oh, is it general? Yeah, it's general. I just don't have enough money to even open one. Here's the sandpit, so it requires 400 denarii. And we just bottomed out. The other thing I could do to help to prevent the bottoming out is remove perfume from the purchased imports, because we have wine and we have the potential of being able to make decorations, so I don't really need perfumes. So we'll just stop importing them, and when I run out of perfume, I'll ramp up decorations, and that should save me some money. So sand pits are just like clay pits. It requires to be on the riverbanks. And if not in the riverbanks, they don't operate, or you can't even place them. So I'll put them there. The sand pit. Actually, that's a bad spot for it, because I won't be able to build other industries around it. That's a little better. So what do I have left to research? The healer's house is almost done. and then the glassworks is underway. So good. Yeah, it's going. It was just thousands of denarii worth of research to build a Helix house. It was kind of a big goal, Claudius. That's your name, right? Yeah, it was kind of a big goal, Claudius. You better be thankful. Stop bickering with your brother. So the Helix house takes denarii and money and produces health, if you think of it that way. It also is a patrician workplace, so I'm going to want another domus for patricians. Dream big? Yeah, I suppose he did. And there's our sandpit. And here's the glassworks. Fits perfectly. So glass flow, if they're built together, reduced input cost, which would be nice to have at some point. Same with the trade network efficiency. I think I'm going to research this one for reduced inputs to trade goods. It's worth the denarii to make things run more efficiently. And once I actually have glass, I'll be able to start making medicine, and then it makes sense to do the Helix house. There is a lot of unemployed people right now, yes. With that said, they still pay taxes regardless of employment status, and then the slaves they just have to be fed, essentially. So it's not that big of a deal to have unemployed people in this game, especially slaves, because they don't demand much, just like food and a shelter. All right, there we go. There's our glasswork. And once I have a little bit of a nest egg of glass, I'll turn the apothecary house back on. I just don't have enough glass to even turn it on just yet. The reason why I have a lot of slaves that are unemployed is I've turned off the iron mine, the quarry, the charcoal burner, the sawmill, the forester's camp. I've turned off a lot of these things because I have enough of those resources. The clay pit, which furloughed them. All right, I've got glass now. No, still no glass. You're missing tools? I have 1,000. There you go. Okay. It's finally in my stockpile, so apothecary house is on. And then we'll be producing medicine. And then with that medicine, we can actually build the healer's house. Yeah, here is as good a place as any. Let's get it going. You can see what I was saying before when I was like, there's really just not a lot of fires. I haven't had a single one. Now, if I didn't have the prefectures, there would be crime. So if we take a look at that map, because I haven't looked at that map in a while. I could probably... You know what I'm going to do? Let's move this prefecture here. And that will cover this area better. And then we have a little bit of lack of coverage up here, but like... If you're gonna want to rob a forester shack, like, you're a hobo. So, go for it.
Fire! Fire! Stop the flames before they spread! Bring water now! I leave for one season and return to smoke and whispers. What happened here?
Several buildings were set ablaze in the lower district. No signs of robbery, only destruction. Whoever did this wanted to send a message.
The people are restless. Rumors speak of Sula's nephew moving among the plebes, stirring resentment, but nothing can be proven.
Then we find proof. And if there is none, we make an example of those who think fire builds a future.
Message from the east. His Imperial Majesty has begun the march toward Judea. The city of Pompeii is to dispatch one cohort at his side.
Then we move. I want a barracks constructed. I'll gather and train the men myself. Those who would serve Rome must be ready to march.
Prepare the soldiers, but keep your eyes on the alleys. The greater threat may yet come from the shadows.
Let them test us. We'll respond with stone, steel, and order.
Okay, let's rebuild these houses, because Sula's men burned them down. Research and build a barracks. Got it. So, barracks. Society, I think. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe not, maybe not, maybe not. Technology, let's try there. Barracks, there it is. Got it. And then muster and train. So let's take a look at our stocks. For Lux Foods, we are making way too much bread and olive oil, so I'm going to scale this back for a minute.
There aren't enough plebeians to manage and sustain production. Construct more insulae to attract new residents.
Shut up, you plebe. More insulae. Now the question is, if I build insulae, what falls under the... I think what I'll do is I'll build it here, but I'm a little worried that it will fall outside of the associated support buildings. So I'll keep an eye on it to make sure that these buildings have all of the sphere of influence connection points that they need. So we have the street stage, which I'm pretty sure covers that. Actually, it really didn't. It was tiny. But they still don't have a lack of entertainment, so I guess they don't really care. The healer's house, which needs to go up and up. And that's about as far as I can with the healer's house. Upgrading the healer's house means I need more patricians. Let's get another domus. Furniture and pottery both look okay. We aren't actually making as much pottery as we need to, now that I think about it. So let's upgrade that. So 39 over 36, 45 over 36, that looks good. We are not making as much wine as we need. We're 35 over 45. But I can upgrade the winery now that we have glass. So now we are 44 over 48. It's closer. If I really wanted to, what I could do is I could do a decorations workshop and put this next to my marble mine. And spin that up as another alternative Lux good. Because eventually our Lux goods will require 2 variety. And we were previously importing perfume, but we decided that wasn't worth our money. So we stopped that. And for regular food, we're in the green or black or whatever we call it. Alright. Now we have the ability to make a barracks. A barracks requires bread, meat, and wine, and denarii per worker, and it hires plebeians. It doesn't really matter where the barracks is built, but I'll plop it here, right at our port. So if anyone wants to mess with us, they'll be nose to nose with our military immediately. Role-playing wise, of course. Research that I've yet to do. I do have a little bit of cash on hand. I wouldn't mind having a plaza. Let's get a plaza. Our herbs are still pretty high. Clay and iron and stone could be turned back on and climbed back up to about 2,000 before turning it back off. I'm intentionally underproducing lumber because we had a huge stockpile of it, but even that could be turned back on. I'm going to underproduce wood to reduce those stocks, though, still. Yeah, I think it looks good. And here's the decorations workshop. So we're making 24 decorations, and that will reduce the demand of wine once that recalculates at the end of March. And that way we won't be in a deficit of wine anymore. We're producing 68, we're using 53, so we're good. All right, did it recalculate? Yeah. Basic goods is only 84 out of 81. So there's only a tiny bit of a wiggle room there, but it's enough. All right, now that we have the barracks, we need to muster and train soldiers in the barracks, and this is done kind of automatically. What will end up happening is as you run the barracks, your plebeians will join and then be turned into soldiers using bread, meat, and wine. So you need a steady supply of bread, meat, and wine, and we have 1,300 bread. We've got 500 wine, and we've got actually not a lot of meat. Let's go ahead and get another hunter camp going. And I'll just put it right next to our old one. And that way we have a steadier supply of meat. There is other ways to get meat, but it's much later on in the research tree. Pig farming, but it's like way the heck down here. And I don't want to, it's going to take way too long to get all the prerequisite. So that's why I went with just the simple. All right, that looks good. And we have 15 soldiers now. What this is doing is it's training like our... It's a little weird. It's training soldiers that like aren't even counted in your population. It's just like, think of it as like a trade good. Yeah, because it's not pulling from our pop. I don't really know how to explain it other than that. Imagine you're just taking like street urchins off the street and throwing like armor on them and like selling them as a soldier or something. It's a little weird, but realistically, because I only have a pop max of plebeians of 72, we shouldn't be able to get 80 soldiers because it's a plebeian workplace. But it's you clone them exactly. Yeah, I don't know. I don't need to understand it exactly. That's how it works. Okay, done. We researched. I meant to get enhanced extraction. What did we just research? Cold press to make olive oil better. Cool. We're getting fresh supply for the synergy between apothecary and herbalist. And we don't... I'll turn this back on, but we don't really need herbs. The other thing is, we'll probably end up producing, like, way more medicine than we could reasonably use. No! Wow! Surprisingly, that's not true yet. Our healer's house has gone through all the medicine that I've supplied so far. That's impressive. But our health numbers are back up to like basically 100%, 99, 98. And they were sitting at like 80s or something. So we definitely fixed it a bit. Alright, we did just get fresh supply for upkeep reduction, which is good, because supplying glass for that industry is relatively expensive. Alright, charcoal's getting close to the 2K mark. The 2K mark is just the arbitrary mark of like, I've made enough, so I'm going to turn it off. So I'm going to turn off the charcoal burner for now. And we are up to 60 of the 80 soldiers needed for the Forge the Legion. I'm going to double back and get vegetable farm. Not that I intend to actually use it. It's just so that I can boost my farming production afterwards. So food is 308 over 277. Still good. Lux goods are in free fall, but that's intentional because I had a huge stockpile of them. Basic goods are 84 over 81, which is fine. Sorry, basic goods. Lux goods is 68 over 53. So we aren't really running any problems here. Leftover Italian flatbreads? Yes, I have entire stockpiles of them. Strategic bread. Fortunately, there isn't like really the concept of spoilage, so we're not getting walloped with that. That'd be brutal. So we just got glass flow, which makes glass cheaper to make. Great. And I probably have, now I think about it. No, actually, I was expecting
News from the
to have
east.
a lot more sand.
The Emperor is gravely ill. His condition worsens by the day.
Then there's no time to waste. My cohort is ready. We sail for Judea immediately.
Then go with honor, my son. Your path now belongs to the legions. We, meanwhile, go to Rome.
Platina already knows the Emperor's condition, but what surrounds her now is far more dangerous than illness. The throne without an heir invites ambition.
Until I return, Claudius, the city is yours to guide. With Publius by your side, you won't be alone.
I won't fail you, Father.
Good. A delegation from Malacca will arrive within the week. They seek trade, but they'll expect leadership. Show them Pompeii was worth the journey.
Then I suggest we begin construction of a new trade port, so we're ready the moment the agreement is sealed.
Alright. Build a new trade port. Got it. I'll just build it right next to the old one. Why not? And get some stone roads for it too. Your trade ports can support more ships than what I currently have purchased. And it can also be upgraded as well. Which isn't bad because I think it just reduces the like physical tax upkeep for the ports, making them more efficient. But we'll get another port to trade with Malacca, which I think should have two C's or M-E-L-A-K-A, because I don't know Greek very well, but I know that Malacca means something in Greek. I think. Let me see. I'm trying to look it up. Yeah, okay, it does. It's a bit slang. We need 2 more fishing piers to preserve the aesthetic balance. No, absolutely not. I also don't need the food. Not yet, at least. Alright, after building that port, because the ports cost a lot of brick, a lot of stone, a lot of tools. We still have too many bricks, so like I'm not even going to turn on my brickworks. That's how many bricks we had. We had enough to build an entire port and still left over. All right, we just made the enhanced extraction so that the mines and quarries produce more resources. We'll have to keep an eye on that because I don't necessarily want my marble, iron, and stone to spiral out of control. It would not necessarily be a terrible idea, however, if I increased the exports of marble. So let's go over to the Empire tab. Apparently I'm not making enough tools, but let's say export 250 marble. Because marble's relatively cheap for me to produce and mass produce. And I'm going to increase the working slots here because it employs slaves. So I'm going to make a whole bunch of marble and intend to sell it to Syracuse. The game also told me that I don't have enough tools to export, but that's almost certainly because I just built a 500 cost port. So it's not like I need more tool makers. We just drew down our stockpiles. So the new port is fully supplied and getting done. Ooh, finally! We're using more lumber than I am producing at max sawmill. So if we are to match demand, I'm going to need yet another sawmill. I think that's probably the only industry I needed to spin up. Well, I'm not making enough wood to supply, but I do have a forester that's off. So, yeah, that doesn't count. So we're getting vegetable farms, and I don't actually plan to make a vegetable farm. Not yet, at least. I just wanted to get the farming production advanced to get more yield out of the farms I already have. Yeah. And I'm looking for, like, low-hanging fruit research. Yeah, I've seen you guys want public toilets. I guess I'll get them, finally. I'll give a crap and research that. So you're welcome. So here's the vegetable farms, and it just makes, I guess, cabbage is the only vegetable it can handle. I could probably put it here and, like, wrap it around there. How many plots? I forget how many plots it requires, though. So there might not be enough room for that. Is there anything I can do about pottery, though? Yeah, let's upgrade it one more time. Pottery was barely keeping up with demand, so now there's a little bit more wiggle room. Alright, the trade port is done. We're going to buy a ship, and then start trading with Malacca. So, up at the Empire tab, Malacca's over here in southern Spain, I guess. And we will sell them... Oh, perfect. We'll sell them herbs. And bricks. So we'll sell them 100 of each, and I have to adjust the herb stocks. Limit 2k, trade quantity 500. And this should allow me to turn on the herb garden again and just export my herbs to Malacca. And then the ship, done.
Trajan is dead. The greatest conqueror since Caesar has left this world in silence, but not in chaos.
He passed with dignity, and in his final moments, thanks to Platina's calm hand and wise counsel, he made one last decision for the good of the Empire.
He adopted Hadrian as his son and heir. Rome will not fall into discord. A new emperor rises, and with him, a new era begins.
Hadrian, a man of learning, not conquest.
Yes, and in that, there is hope.
In honor of the new emperor, we shall hold a grand celebration here in Pompeii. Begin gathering food and wine. We will host a feast worthy of Rome itself.
The gods shall be honored as well. The finest livestock must be brought to the temples. Let the smoke rise with our loyalty.
All right, so gather bread, gather wine. I'm going to turn on my bakery again. And I'm warned that I don't have enough plebeians. And then I'll turn on my... Well, my winery's already on. And then I need to offer livestock meat to the temples, which I'll do in a minute. I just wanted to get the other insula. Oh, that road isn't connected. So the domuses are over here, but I think I'm going to have this side be insula instead of more domuses, because we need more insula than domuses. So in an effort of making nice semi-symmetric layouts, we'll put in 2 more insula over here. So I'll do that before I offer up the meat to the shrine. The other thing I'm going to do, because I actually don't even physically have the meat for the shrine, is go to my stocks, go to my meat. I also haven't upgraded the hunter's cabin, but I'm going to stop consuming meat. I'm going to prevent people from eating meat so I can offer it to the gods instead. And then with that in mind, let's boost our hunter cabin up, because we were already in sort of meat free fall, so this should help out a lot. Yes, you can leave the grid on if you want all the time. You just go to the overlay options here and hit G, and you can always have the grid. I think there's even an option to like just leave the grid on permanently, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe not. I thought there was. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, we have 100 meat so far stockpiled, and once that gets up to 300, we'll be able to offer it up to the gods through this offer sacrifice button. And no, you can't sacrifice slaves. I know that was on your mind, and how sick you are for thinking it, but no, you may not. All right, society tab. We've got... I'm not going to do anything else. Not yet. You were thinking of sacrificing Sula? Oh, I think the Empress saw to that for us. She threw him out. Got rid of him. Alright, stocks. We have plenty of space. I like it. We have the meat required. I like that even more. And we're swimming in money because we were exporting a whole lot, which is great. So here we go. Offering offered. And then don't worry, I remembered to allow for the consumption of meat again.
Citizens of Pompeii, stand proud. The Emperor Hadrian and Empress Plotina have arrived.
Pompeii greets us with joy, and we return that joy in kind. This city has long stood as a symbol of discipline and beauty, and I see both still flourish here. Word reaches me from the east. Your son Marcos brings order to Judea with clarity and strength. The legions speak highly of him.
The empire holds, for now. But not all who walk the marble halls of Rome do so with clean intentions. Sulla's nephew, Rufus, circles the palace like a vulture, whispering in the ears of men too weak to think for themselves.
Let others scheme, you build. Let Pompeii rise through stone, not suspicion, through clarity, not conspiracy.
You have our blessing. Keep building. Let Pompeii be a city of reason in an age of noise.
Build an odium in Hadrian's honor. and feast. All right, odium. I think that's society tab, actually. Maybe? Yeah, there it is. Oh my god, that is so deep in the research tree. So to get that, I need civic work. To get that, I need tax office. To get that, I need Ceres Shrine. To get that, I need the Public Education Act and Insula Stage. To get that, I need the Shelter Stage 2. To get that, I need the Shrine of Neptune. Okay. Well, there goes all my hard-earned tax money. Bye! Because Hadrian's here and requires not a wall, but an odium. So, working on the odium. Did I make the gods happy? I mean, I gave them like boar and deer. I'm hoping they're happy. If they're not happy with my offerings, they can come down and complain in person. All right. Yeah, it's time to charcoal again. Okay, what did I just research? Because there was like 1,000 things I queued up. Shrine of Neptune. Yep. So this is the first time we have like another religion building. I don't. So it increases the nearby fishing efficiency. So you better believe I'm not building this. Nah, I will. It's fine. So you Neptune worshippers will be satisfied. There it is. So we're getting a 21 output of fish, and I'll see what it is once that's done. We can also upgrade the fishing hut, which would be unreasonable to do because I would end up with a monstrous amount of extra stuff. I'm going to upgrade the decorations workshop. And it looks like I need another domus. Okay. So we had our feast, which is going to predate the odium's construction by like a lot. Because the amount of research I need for the odium is a lot. Like 46 days, 48 days, 48 days, 50 days, 52 days, 54 days, 56 days. Like, dude, come back in like a year or two, and I might have an odium for you, but I certainly do not have one right now. Alright, I'm going to upgrade the decorations workshop again, and again, just to have plenty of luxury goods. So, I'm getting to the point in the game, if you're wondering, where if I run out of luxury goods or basic goods, like, people will get real pissed, and they might leave the city. So I have to be careful not to do that. And not to do that meaning to keep people and their needs actually fulfilled. Which is, you know, a matter of scale. I probably don't need both. What? You have lower output after the Neptune Shrine? The hell? Whatever. I'm not even... Fine. Fine. Curse you too, Neptune. I knew he was good for nothing. So we have the shelter stage 2. So what this allows me to do, if I so choose, is we can go to any one of these shelters and upgrade it for 4 additional residence capacity. And it makes the... It builds a second story and holds 12 residents instead of 8. And the same will be true researching the Insula Stage 2. And this will help to keep our cities within the sphere of influence of the public facilities. So for instance, this public toilet, well, I'll upgrade it. Yeah. But making sure that they fall within the range of like the barber and the public toilet and the shrines and all that stuff. Alright, we got Shelter stage 2. So yeah, we're working on Insula stage 2. Okay. All right. Do I need bricks yet? Yes, I do. Let's turn that on. I probably have enough stone. Turn that off. Probably have enough clay and iron. Turn those off as well. How about sand? 1K, I'll leave it on. Glass? Actually, our glass maxed out, so turn off the glass, turn off the sand. Turn on the charcoal, because we're kind of low. Down to 600. And then we actually have a bit of a lack of marble. Likely it's because we've been exporting it, I'd imagine. We've been exporting it to Malacca. And it's, actually, if we're trying to export bricks to Malacca, let's keep the brick making going. Although it is going. So I'm going to upgrade the brick making to make more bricks for export. Not that I need more money. I mean, we're at like 10k denarii, whereas not too long ago I was at like 0. But it couldn't hurt to just have more to export. One of the advantages of like exporting a whole lot is if all of a sudden I have a need of like bricks, I don't have to do anything but stop the export temporarily for me to support that new project. Oh boy. I did not turn my olive oil back on. Oof, glad I noticed that. Because our Lux food was in like super free fall. And the same is true of the bakery, so I'm gonna upgrade the bakery as well. So now we're producing 93 Lux food, up from like 17, which was like a minute ago. So I think everything's relatively balanced. We're producing more food than we're consuming. Yes. We're producing more Lux food than we're consuming. Yes. Basic goods. No. Pottery and furniture is not keeping up. Pottery workshop. Upgrade. I don't think the furniture workshop can be upgraded. It cannot. But with the upgrade to the pottery workshop, it produces enough. It's out producing now. So, yes. And then Lux goods, yes. So we're good on all those fronts. We're managing the needs of our citizens, and then their health is up to like 100% because we have a really steady supply of medicine and public toilets and reservoirs, so they're fine. All right, how goes the Odium? We are almost done with the Insula stage, and then we'll do the Siri Shrine. Cool. Looks like I built the wrong housing. Oh yeah, this is an Insula, not a Domus. Bye-bye. And let's get our first tier 2 Insula, too. So that's what it looks like. Just taller. Same is true of the shelter. I don't really see that the Domuses are that much nicer than the Insula. I mean, they're like smaller. And they don't look that much nicer. But whatever, if the patricians are happy, I'm happy. Alright, now we're getting the Siri Shrine, then we get the tax office, then the civic work, and then the Odium. Just a long list. With that said, I'll probably end the stream having researched and built a Siri Shrine because I am just about out of, well, I'm out of time. But I wanted to get one more shrine. So this shrine is a fertile lands blessing shrine. It's a farm shrine. We'll pop that in the farm. I didn't see that the Neptune shrine made a lick of difference to our fishing huts, so the sphere of influence bonuses for the shrines might not work. But it looks like our output is 102 for grain per output cycle, so we'll see if it changes once the shrine is built. I'll wait for the end of this output cycle to see if it swaps. Nah. What if I made you an offering? Still no? Yeah, I don't think the shrines work. Maybe they will eventually, but not yet. It was worth a try. Here, I'll even make an offering to you too. Don't worry, Neptune, I didn't screw you over. But yeah, my fish output didn't really change. Well, we would still have to. I mean, it's going to take a while to actually do all the research for the odium. So, with that, this is where I am going to leave off. Thank you for tuning in to Pompeii: The Legacy, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Roman citizens.